Hello, our most developed student. My name is Confident. Welcome to our revision session. And in this particular revision session, I chose something that I don't usually do. And I brought you a very old paper. And this question paper was written in November 2011. I haven't revised such old question papers, but what I've discovered, sometimes examiners actually those guys who are setting the papers, you find that they time and again repeat some of these questions that they've been asking long time ago. Now let us look at this question, and as I said, this is just for revision session. It is an old paper, that's why you can see even the quality of it is not good, but I think it is clear from the screen. And it was written in November 2011, and well, it was written also in the morning, and nothing has changed with this syllabus. It is as old as it is, but nothing has just changed. It is still relevant today as it was then. Now I'm only looking at question or focusing on the first question. I'm not doing other questions. As I said, I will do them if time allows in the coming days. Hence guys, we always say subscribe to our channel. Make sure that you turn on that notification bell so that every time we bring such, you are notified by YouTube. And also please share this channel with your friends and colleagues. Don't forget to comment, and if you guys comment and share and discuss, it also helps us to see that you guys are benefiting from this channel. So after you have watched, don't forget to comment below if ever it is helping you, or if there are some suggestions that you want to bring across. Just ensure that you in a way communicate with us, and we will gladly respond. Now let us look at question number 1 in this paper. It says 1.1, simplify the following without using a calculator. So here, similar questions, as you can see, they still ask them and to say simplify without the use of a calculator, and this is 2 marks. And you are supposed, the first one is it says what, 4th root of 16 times 81. Let me just try to work it here. You are given 4th, maybe it's not clear from your side. This is what you're given, 4th root of 16 times 81. Now what you need to know, if they give a 4th root, this is similar to giving you a bracket like this, and then you say to the power 1 over 4. That's what it means. And then you have got 16, but I'm not going to write 16. You need to express 16 in terms of either 4 or 2, and in this case I think 2 will work, because if I say 2 to the exponent 4, it gives me 16. Even 81, it will be 3 to the exponent 4, it gives me 81. So that was intentional. So this is 2 to the power 4 times 3 to the power 4. Now what happens is this 4 will multiply and multiply only the exponents part. So what you're going to do, you distribute that exponent 1 over 4, which will put 2 to the power 4 times 1 over 4 times 3 to the power 4 times 1 over 4. And then when you do that, you have got 2 to the power 1 times 3 to the power of 1. Now 2 to the power 1 is same as 2 as well as 3 to the power 1. Now 2 times 3 is equal to 6. So this question, the final answer there that you're supposed to get is equal to 6 in that case. So as I say, it wasn't really something that is difficult. Now let us just test your answer. Test my answer with that. So it's shift 4th root of 16 times 81. You definitely need to test this one just to see if you're getting the same answer. So there it is. And then let us look at something else. The next question here is question 1.1.2. It says it's 3 marks, which is good. It says we need to simplify again without the use of a calculator. And what they've given me is a fraction, and they've given me, let me write it for you also if it is not clear, 1 over 3 plus 1 over 4 over 4 over 5 plus 5 over 6 equal to, now let me use a calculator in this case, and in a way let us add this and see what it gives me, and then I work towards that answer. So that is another way that you can use your calculator to your advantage. So it's, now be careful how you punch your calculator. Look what I'm going to do. The first thing, I put the fraction, and then I have 1 over 3, and look at the cursor, it's on top. I put another fraction on top, and then I have 1 over 3, and then it's plus, again have that fraction, it's 1 over 4. Then you go down, you have another fraction which is 4 over 5, and then plus another fraction which is 5 over 6. Then the answer here is 5 over 14. So in here I just want to prove that this is 5 over 14. So how do you work towards that? So the first thing you need to do is to do this separately. In a way, you do the top part alone as well as the bottom part. So let me just divide this like this, my working. So if I had 1 over 3 plus 1 over 4, remember they said I mustn't use a calculator. Common denominator here is 12. Now it's 3 into 12, it's 4. 4 times 1 plus 4 into 12 is 3. 3 times, you multiply 3 times 1, which is equal to 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 times 1, 4 plus 3, which is 7 over 12. So that's the first part. The other one is 4 over 5 plus 5 over 6, and then again the common denominator between 5 and 6 is 30. So it's 5 into 30, it's 6. Then you multiply by the top number, which is 4, plus 6 into 30, it's 5. You multiply by the top number, which is 5, and then equal to 6 times 4, which is 24, plus 25, which is 5 times 5, over 30. You see, I'm trying to avoid the calculator as much as possible. 24 plus 25 is 49 over 30 in this case. So this is what we are having, and then so what I'm going to be adding, then I will be adding those two. So in this case, what I have 7 over, actually I'm not adding those two, I'm writing them as they are. 1 over 3 plus 1 over 4 is 7 over 12. Now look at this, instead of this division line like this as 49 over 30, I'm going to say now 7 over 12 divided by, you see I'm changing that division into that kind of that division. So you continue, which is 7 over 12. The reason why I'm doing that is that I want to convert this division into a multiplication, and when I do that, the 30 goes to the top, you invert the following fraction, and the 49 goes below. So you'll have 30 over 49. Then this is equal to 7 into 7, 1 into 49, it's 7. And then in here, I think 6 into 12 is 2, and 6 into 30 is 5. So 1 times 5, you can see that I'm left with 1 times 5 over 2 times 7. And 1 times 5 and is 5 in this case, over 7 times 2, which is 14. Now look, it is the same answer that we got when we were using the calculator. So this is how you can simple solve that part. And as I said, they are old questions, but they are still very, very relevant. Sometimes you find such questions in your mathematics. Sometimes they put X, or they put it can be a negative or a positive, but they want you to solve that. Alright, so let us look at the next one. This other one is 1.1.3 here. it says we need to simplify again without the use of a calculator, but let me write it clear for you. This is 2 times 3 to the exponent x minus 3 to the exponent x minus 2 over 5 times 3 to the exponent x. So this is what they're saying, and it's 3 marks again, and you just have to simplify that. Now, what I'm going to use here is the law, especially this part of 3 to the power x minus 2. So I've got this law, the first law, which is a to the power of x times a to the power of y is equal to a to the power of x plus y. Remember this law, but I'm going to write it like in the reverse of that law, and the reverse will be a to the power of x plus y is equal to a to the power of x times a to the power of y. So you see what I've just done? I've just written it backwards. So that's what I'm going to use. So if I'm then given 3 to the power of x minus 2 in here, when I'm writing it, this then becomes 3 to the power of x times 3 to the power of negative 2. So that's what I'm going to do there. So this will be equal to 2 times 3 to the power of x minus 3 to the power of x times 3 to the power of negative 2 over 5 times 3 to the power of x. So this is equal to, now what you're going to do then, you have to factorize, and you can see 3 to the power of x is common on top, and we have a negative sign. So that negative sign means we have got this part separate from that part. So that's why I'm saying we have to factorize at this stage. So when you factorize, what is common? You take out the 3 to the exponent x, and you're left with the numbers inside, which is 2. Where there was 3 to the exponent x, you put a 1 because it's the placeholder for that 3 to the power x, minus 1 times 3 to the power negative 2 over 5 times 3 to the power x. So that is the reason why I was taking it out, so that I can cancel it. And when I do that, I've got 2 times 1 is 2 minus, now it's negative 1 times 3 to the power negative 2. Now to get rid of that negative, remember you introduce a fraction, which is 1 over 3 squared, then all over 5, and then you continue. So in this stage it is 2 minus 1 over 9 over 5. Now it's up to you to solve your fraction here. This is 2 over 1, which is equal to common denominator on top, it's 9, and then 1 into 9 is 9. 9 times 2, it is 18 minus 1 over 5, and then this is equal to, it's up to you now how you solve that. So it's, you can actually test it while you are doing it with the calculator. So 18 minus 1, this is 17 over 9. Now again, where there is this over 5, you say divided by 5, which is equal to 17 over 9 times 1 over 5. And the answer is 17 times 1. It is 17 over 9 times 5, which is 45. So I was just not using the calculator, I was just going straight without the calculator. But as I said, you can test while you're working your way. You can say 2 minus 1 over 9 just to see if you did it right. It must give you 17 over 9, which is what I also got there. And then you can literally test if you also did well. Here is 2, it's a fraction, which is 2 minus 1 over 3 squared, and then over 5, just to see if you're not making errors. You choose 17 over 45. You can further test the original. So when you're testing with the original, what you simply do is choose any value of x. For example, let x be equal to 5. So you enter there 2 times 3 to the exponent 5 if my x is 5. If I choose x to be 5, minus 3 to the exponent 5 minus 2, and then all over 5 times 3 to the exponent 5. If I do that, I must get the answer 17 over 45, as you can see. So it doesn't matter what number you choose. You can choose 10 here, you can choose 10 there. Whether it's x, you can choose, as long as that number is consistent, you can choose any number of your choice, and then it must match your final answer that you got. You can see that now it's also giving me the same answer. So guys, that is how you usually test your answers on that part. So we're done with question 1.1. We're looking at question now 1.2. Now this question is one of the most common questions that you can find in your N3. It says factorize fully into prime factors. I've seen this question more than once. It's 3 marks. We are given 50x squared minus 8, and you're supposed to solve that. I'm saying this because I've dealt with this question more than once in the previous revision sessions. So what you do, this is a difference of 2 squares, just to go ahead of you. And first of all, you take out 2 here, so that 2 into 50 is 25x squared minus 2 into 8, it is 4. You see that? Hence I was saying it's a difference of 2 squares, which is 2. Then you can write this as 5 squared is 25x squared minus 4 is 2 squared. Then from here you have 2. Now open 2 brackets, and what you're going to be writing in those 2 brackets, it is for example, the first bracket, if I remove that square, I remove that square, I remove that square, that is the first bracket that you're going to have, 5x minus 2. And then the other one is the bracket where you interchange the signs. So we have 5x minus 2, and then it's 5x, instead of minus it's plus 2. So that is how you factorize that, and you get 3 marks. As I say, it's not complicated, but it needs you to be more familiar with such papers, such questions. As I say, they usually bring them. Now next one, we are again supposed to factorize, and they gave me a question. Let me just look at a bit of space. I'm looking at this 1.2.2. I'm supposed to factorize a, actually it's a plus b x squared minus 2ax minus 2bx plus a plus b. So this is what I'm given, and I'm supposed to factorize this part. Now if I continue with what I am given, and if I take the first 2 and see what is common, I've got a plus b, and then I've got x squared there, minus, now if you see carefully, I've got 2ax and 2bx, and minus 2 is common, negative negative, 2 and x, so 2x is common. Now minus 2ax divided by minus 2x, I will get an a, plus minus 2bx divided by minus 2x, I'll get a b in this case. Remember, I'm simple, like if I'm dividing, I'm cancelling, and I'm cancelling, there is the a, I'm cancelling, and I'm cancelling, actually I'm cancelling the x there, because 2x is common, and there is the b, like that. So that's what I'm doing in that case. So when I've done that one, it's plus, again look, I've got a plus b there, but what I do, I put a 1 and then I say a plus b. You'll see why I'm doing that. This is equal to, see, I've got a plus b, a plus b, a plus b. So if you are to factorize, actually there is x squared here first. so that I don't change this expression. This is x squared. So now if I can in a way factorize actually the a plus b, a plus b, a plus b, so I'll have a plus b outside, then I'll have that remaining, and that remaining. Are you seeing that? So what I will have is x squared, and then it's minus 2x plus 1. So that's what I'm having there, and this is needs further factorization, which is equal to a plus b, and then now you can use the product sum to get two factors of that, and then if you're getting the two factors of this is x minus 1 and this is x minus 1. You can test it, but this is what if you say x times x, you get the x squared. X times minus 1 is minus 1x, minus 1 times x is minus 1x, so minus 1x minus 1x is negative 2x. 1 times 1 gives you a positive 1. So this can see that this is the same, so you can write it as a plus b, and then you have x minus 1 squared. So it's up to you how you want to finalize your answer. Even the top one is still fine, or you leave your answer in this version, and then that is fully factorized. That's why they say fully factorized into prime factors. So well, this becomes more ideal. So guys, that is what it means when, as I said, we're solving these old questions. They are very relevant, and if you just check your current questions, you'll see a lot of similarities in this part. Now let us look at 1.3. Now it says prove that x minus 3 is a factor of the following equation, and in here we are given f of x is that. This is not difficult, it's 3 marks, but it's a given. So first thing is you say x minus 3, you equate that to 0, take negative 3 to the other side, we have got x is equal to 3. Now if we take that f of x, remember you're given f of x is equal to 6x cubed minus 13x squared minus 19x plus 12. So this is what we're given, and we need to prove that x minus 3 is a factor. So you put where there is x, you put that 3, so you'll have 6 3 cubed minus 13, and then 3 squared minus 19, and then you've got 3 plus 12. You see that? And then you test that now with the calculator. Now whenever you are proving that it is a factor, if it gives you a 0, then it is a factor. So we've got 3 cubed minus 13, 3 squared minus 19, and it's 3, and then it's plus 12. You just need to be careful with how you input your values. You can see that this is giving me a 0. So now so f3 is equal to a 0, and then you can say therefore x minus 3 is a factor. That is how you conclude it. If it gives you a 0, it is a factor. If it does not give you a 0, you then conclude and say x minus 3 is not a factor. So it depends whether you get a 0. Remember, for it to be a 0, it's f of x must be equal to 0. So whatever number you put for x, if it gives you a 0, it means that number is a factor. So that is again another 3 marks, which was a given. Let us look at the next one, which is question 1.4 and is 1.4 for 4.1. These are fractions in this case, and they're saying you need to simplify here. Let me write it clear for you. It's x squared minus 2x over x squared plus x, and then you multiply that with x cubed minus x over 2x squared plus x minus 1. So let me use what I usually prefer is to see what does this simplify into. So I choose any value of x. For example, let me say let x here be equal to 4. So what I do, I take my calculator, where there is any x, I put 4. So the first one will be 4 squared minus 4 into 4 all over. Again, it's 4 squared plus 4. Just need to be careful when you're entering these values. Times 4 cubed minus 4 over 2 times 4 squared plus 4 minus 1. Let's see what it gives. It gives 24 over 35. You can change any number here. Let's make it 10 to see whether it will be maintained as 24 over 35. You got a 10. It's 10. Just any number of your choice. That's the main part here. And I'm having a 10. Got a 10 there. I've got a 10 there. Alright, so if you equal to, I'm getting, okay, something different, but it's fine. What I need to do, if the number is changing, nothing is wrong. But what I need then to do, I need to compare my first answer with the final answer. So this one for 10, it's 720 over 209. So my final answer, if I put the value of 10, it must also give me 720 over 209. So I'm going to write this so that I don't repeat it. When x is equal to 10, it's 720 over 209. So let me write that one down. 720 over 209 is when x was equal to 10. I think when x was equal was 24 over 30. I think this one, let's leave it out. I've forgotten this part, but let's leave this one. That's what we're going to test with my final answer. So let's now factorize. Now x squared minus 2x, x is common. So I've got x minus 2 here over x squared plus x, x is common. Now x into x squared is x plus x into x is a 1. Okay, that times x cubed minus x, x is common. Now I just want to show you now quickly so that I can do this one. So I've got x being in x cubed minus x is x is common, right? So I will have x squared, x into x cubed. I'll cancel one, is x squared minus 1. But x squared minus 1 is a difference of 2 squares because it's x squared minus 1 squared. So it will be x, and the difference of 2 squares is x minus 1, and it's x plus 1. So you see how it flows. So I'm going to write it here once as x minus 1 and x plus 1 all over. I didn't want to repeat that. And then when you're factorizing this one, use the product sum method, and then you'll have 2 brackets. Please revise the product sum method. I've got a textbook, Mathematics N3 for the underdogs, that I usually encourage students to have. It comes already preloaded with videos so that you can actually watch and go through the book, watch and go through the book. It is one of the best books that you can use whenever you want to prepare for these exams. Everything that I'm teaching here is actually covered in that particular book. So if you have not checked it out, you can purchase it on Takealot, Mathematics N3 for the underdogs. Now look at this one. As I say, I use the product sum. It's 2x and x, and then in here what I have is, if I put a 1 and a 1 there, so if I put a minus, I put a plus, just want to see what it gives me. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times, it's 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times x is 2x. Minus 1 times x is minus 1x. Minus 1 times minus negative 1. So this is 2x squared 2x minus x is plus x, then minus 1. You can see that it gives me back to that. So this is the factorized part. So my answer therefore is correct. So this is what I have. And now I'm supposed to simplify this. So how do you simplify that? Cancel out what is common, and that's the way. So if I cancel out what is common, I have got this one, x plus 1 and x plus 1. Actually, I can even use the one that is closer. I've got x plus 1 there cancelling. All right, and then what else do I have? I've got the x and the x cancelling. So on top, what I'm left with is that and that. So I've got x minus 2 and x minus 1, right, over. Now at the bottom I've got that one, which is x plus 1. Usually these questions and 2x minus 1, they usually bring questions which most of this stuff cancels out almost, and you're left with something much simpler. So well, this one was not the case. Now let's try now our 10 here. That's why our answer was actually changing. Let me put x is equal to 10 in my final answer. So I'll have here 10 bracket 10 minus 2 and then 10 minus 1. All right, and then over bracket 10 plus 1. It must match with my other one, 2 times 10 minus 1. So I must get 720 over 209. You can see that it's giving me that. So this is actually the answer, and when it matches like that, it means you have simplified it up to the end. There is nothing we can do at this stage. That is the final answer. It wasn't much satisfying. You'll think that maybe you're missing out something, but well, that's it. You leave it like that and you get that as the final answer. Let us look at the last one. This is actually more interesting. I will encourage you to watch it. This is 3x over 2. Usually in the later stage it used to carry more marks than this one. Than this here they gave it 3 marks. X over 3 divided by 2x over 5 minus 4x over 3. Now you can see this. I need to use, remember when you're doing such, I've got a plus, a division and minus. So definitely I need to know how to approach that. So I'm going to use BODMAS. Now B brackets of, now number 1 I must do division, number 2 multiplication, number 3 addition, and number 4 is subtraction. So first things first is division, and where is division? It is between these two numbers. I must divide them, but for me to divide them I must convert them into a multiplication sign. So it will be 3x over 2 plus x over 3. Now from divided to is times, because division and multiplication still will follow each other, but I must interchange. The 5 goes on top, 2x goes below, so it will be 5 over 2x, all right, minus 4x over 3, which is equal to, now we are able to cancel out that x with that x. So I've got 3x over 2 plus 1 over 3. You see that? And then actually let me just simplify this and not write it. Now we are multiplying 1 times 5, which is 5 over 3 times 2, which is 6, minus 4x over 3. Now the common denominator here is 6. Now 2 into 6 is 3. You multiply by the top numerator, plus 6 into 6 is 1 times 5, minus 3 into 6 is 2 times 4x. Okay, And then when we continue with that, what we will be having, it's 9x plus 5 minus 8x, in this case, over 6, which is equal to 9x minus 8x. These are common terms, that and that. So it's 9 minus 8, which is 1. So it's x is 1x plus 5 over 6. So you see, this is the final part. What do? I also test my answer, just like I did previously. Choose any value of x. For example, we can say let x be equal to 7. So we see what we get in the first one, and in the initial question, this is 3 times 7 over 2. Sorry about that. Is 3 times 7 over 2, and then I've got plus x is 7 there. I chose 7, which is 7 over 3 divided by fraction 2 times 7 over 5 minus 4 times 7. Actually, it's a fraction again, which is 4 times 7 over 3. So this is what I'm having. I've got my final answer as 2. So if I do that, the answer that I'm getting here is equal to 2. So I do the same thing here, x plus 5 over 6, and see if it will give me a 2 in that case. So I've got 7, remember my x is 7, plus 5 over 6. It also gives me the same answer, which is 2. So it means this is the simplified version of that. Anyway, so guys, that is what I wanted to bring to you. I just wanted to look at question number 1. Of course, the whole paper. I have the whole paper, but this one is showing the first 2 questions, and it was also very interesting solving for x. You are solving for x, you are completing a square, you are solving logs. It is actually, you can see, still old but very relevant. So I hope, guys, this was of benefit to you. As I said, there are many resources. We've got the mathematics entry for the underdogs together with videos. So this book already comes with videos. So what you do when you purchase it on Takealot, you give us the code that you're going to get when you open that book. There is a code you'll be given. That code you you send an email to 24-minute lessons, and then once we receive the code, we're going to load you into our online classes so that you can benefit from that. I hope, guys, this is of benefit to you. We've come to the end of our lesson. Thank you.